Commander Elena Vasquez tried to maintain her composure as she studied the alien ambassador across the negotiation table. The Kytherian stood nearly 8 feet tall, its chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the harsh fluorescent lights of the diplomatic station. What drew her attention, and apparently her obvious discomfort, was the pronounced anatomical feature protruding from its lower torso region, something that seemed to pulse with a faint bioluminescent rhythm. "Is it the bulge between my legs that's got you rattled, human?" the ambassador asked, its voice a harmonic blend of clicks and synthesized speech through the universal translator. "Is that why you're acting strange?" Elena felt heat rise to her cheeks. The Kytherians were known for their brutal directness, but she hadn't expected such a pointed observation during their first contact negotiations. She forced herself to look directly at Ambassador Thexai, meeting what she assumed were its primary optical sensors. "I apologize, Ambassador. I meant no disrespect. Human anatomy differs significantly from yours, and I was curious about your physiology." Thexai's mandibles clicked in what the xenobiology reports had indicated was amusement. "Your species' tendency toward embarrassment regarding biological functions continues to fascinate our researchers. What you observe is my Kethmore, our secondary heart. All Kytherians possess one." Elena's scientific training kicked in, overriding her social awkwardness. "A secondary cardiac organ? That's remarkable. Does it serve a specialized function?" "Indeed." Thexai's posture shifted, becoming more formal. "The Kethmore regulates hemolymph flow during high-stress situations, combat, mating, and what your species might call diplomatic tension. It also serves as our primary emotional barometer, visible to all members of our society." The implication struck Elena immediately. "So when we humans display nervousness through micro-expressions, fidgeting, or vocal patterns, your people literally wear their emotional state on their lower torso." "Precisely. Your discomfort regarding my Kethmore actually caused it to pulse more rapidly, which in turn may have increased your discomfort, a feedback loop that nearly derailed our initial meeting." Elena found herself genuinely intrigued now, her earlier awkwardness dissolving. "This has significant implications for our diplomatic protocols. Human negotiators often rely on reading subtle cues and maintaining poker faces. But with your species, emotional transparency is built into your very anatomy." Thexai's secondary arms, smaller appendages near its thorax, gestured approvingly. "You begin to understand why the Kytherian High Council was skeptical about establishing formal relations with humanity. Your species' tendency to conceal true intentions conflicts with our biological inability to do so. But perhaps that's exactly why we need each other," Elena suggested, leaning forward. "Human discretion could complement Kytherian honesty. Your emotional transparency could help us overcome our own deceptive tendencies." The ambassador's Kethmore pulsed steadily now, its rhythm more measured than before. "An intriguing proposition. Your ability to adapt your perspective so quickly suggests promise for future cooperation." Elena smiled, realizing that the most challenging part of first contact hadn't been the language barriers, technological differences, or even cultural misunderstandings, it had been overcoming her own preconceptions about alien biology. "I have a proposal, Ambassador. What if we establish joint training protocols? Human diplomats could learn to read Kethmore patterns while Kytherian representatives study human micro-expressions. Instead of our differences being obstacles, they could become tools for deeper understanding." Thexai's entire exoskeleton seemed to shimmer with what Elena now recognized as excitement. "The High Council will find this approach refreshing. Perhaps this embarrassing moment has become the foundation for genuine interspecies cooperation." As the formal negotiations began, Elena reflected on how first contact often came down to the most unexpected details, and how acknowledging awkwardness, rather than hiding from it, had opened the door to unprecedented diplomatic possibilities between two very different worlds.